And those were your commodity updates. Hello and welcome to Business here on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broohm. We go straight to our very first story. In the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has assured the aggrieved customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management that their petition will be relayed to the appropriate quarters. This comes after a 3-day picketing at the premises of the Commission. Receiving the petition on behalf of the Director General of SEC, Head of Communications and External Affairs, Dr. Godwin Ansah, said his outfit will expedite processes in ensuring these customers are paid on time. My colleague James Ishen was at day 3 of the protest and has come through with this report.
It has been 3 days of a charged atmosphere, coupled with women wailing and prostrating on the floor. On the third day of their picketing at the premises of the Securities and Exchange Commission, the aggrieved customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management Company finally decided to send their petition to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Charles Inyame is the convener for the group. He said the demand of the group is to have their monies paid.
We stand here today to let the president and the nation at large know that we haven't received our monies. Bailout package is distinct from a liquidation order. A bailout package is a taxpayers' money approved by Parliament to pay us. And you can use a liquidation order route which can take about 2 decades, as suggested by Securities and Exchange Commission themselves, as to be a condition to the bailout package. Therefore, with all due respect, for the sake of our people out there, we have no further strength to battle with the government. We are pleading with them in the name of God, as a listening father. Wherever the 5.5 billion approved by Parliament is, should be, as a matter of urgency, released and disbursed for the betterment of these dying customers of Gold Coast Fund Management and other fund management customers.
Receiving the petition was the Head of Communications and External Affairs at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Godwin Ansah. He said the Commission is committed to addressing the issue.
Well, we cannot agree with the numbers that have been presented by representatives from the other side. We were very clear in terms of what we have done so far. We mentioned that over 1,000 claims have actually been paid or covered with about 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. And also, as far as 61,000 claims were concerned, we have apportioned about 750 million Ghana cedis, which has been used to fully settle these customers. So our numbers are very clear in terms of who we have taken care of. And also important to know that even with the partial bailout which we executed, we had over 82% of all pensioners being taken care of. So whilst we know that a lot has been done, it's important for us to state that we remain committed to the process and seeing it through to the logical conclusion. It's also important to state that SEC is not party to any of the applications in the court. The government gave 2 conditions for which the full bailout would be implemented. One, the liquidation order is being obtained by the official liquidator, and that can be granted through the courts as per the relevant law, and also the validation of claims. We have actually finished with the validation of claims, and the said monies have been paid out even to Black Shield customers under the partial bailout program which the government awarded on humanitarian grounds. So far, we have about 44 out of 46 liquidation orders which have been obtained. We only have 2 outstanding, and we are very committed to the process, and we are sure that these orders will be obtained so that the needful can be done. Even without the petition, it's important to know that SEC has actually been very compliant with the process. We have cooperated with the process thoroughly, fully, and wholeheartedly, and our commitment stays the same. We will address this as seriously as we have done, even without the petition being submitted. We take this seriously because core of our mandate is ensuring that what the investors' interests are well taken care of. So we'll address it. We'll continue to support the process and ensure that the needful is done, so that people can feel even more confident in the market than ever before. We will continue to update the press as and when needed.
Meanwhile, the group said it has given the Commission a week ultimatum to pay their monies, else they will continue with their picketing. James Ishen's report for Joy Business.
Now, businesses and industries are expected to start paying the Growth and Sustainability Levy by the end of June this year. This despite an announcement by the Ghana Revenue Authority that it will start implementing the 3 key taxes from the beginning of this month. George Riafe has the rest of the story.
Joy Business understands that this is due to the fact that the Growth and Sustainability Levy, which is a percentage of a company's profit before taxes, will be based on earnings for every quarter of this year. That is why the first payment should be made by these companies at the end of June 2023. The tax, which is replacing the National Fiscal Stabilization Levy, seeks to impose a special levy to raise revenue for growth and fiscal sustainability of the economy. The tax is seeking to impose 5% on the profit before tax of banks, other financial institutions, as well as oil marketing companies and telecom operators. Mining and oil extracting firms will pay 1% of their gross production as this levy. All other companies are being asked to pay 2.5% of their profit before tax as this levy. We also understand that the guidelines for all the 3 key tax measures will be published before the end of this month. This will give fine details on how the payment should be done by these businesses and industries out there. Government is hoping to raise almost 4 billion Ghana cedis from these revised taxes. However, some have argued that looking at the current state of the economy and the time that they are starting to collect these taxes, as well as concerns being expressed by enterprises, some have argued that government may struggle to hit its target.
Meanwhile, a quest by business community for the government to withdraw some 3 new taxes that were approved recently is not over yet, despite ongoing implementation by the Ghana Revenue Authority. This is according to Vice President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Clement Boateng. He said GUTA will continue to engage in order to get these taxes considered during the mid-year budget review. Clement Boateng spoke to Joy Business after the swearing-in of new executives for the Abose Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association. Here's more.
The 3 taxes, Sustainability and Growth Levy, Excise Duty and Amendment Bill, and Income Tax Amendment Act were introduced to replace some old taxes. Despite series of agitations from the business community and some stakeholders, the levies have been approved and Ghana Revenue Authority has begun implementation. After handing over the mantle of office to the newly elected executives of the Abose Okai Spare Part Dealers Union, Clement Boateng hinted they would put up a fight ahead of the mid-year budget review, but for now, the cost will be passed on to consumers.
GUTA is still calling on the government, to have an engagement so that the solutions that we have proffer, government will consider it. So we are looking at the mid-year budget review.
You don't think it's a lost battle because the president has assented to it?
Yes, the president has assented to it, and we know GRA has started its implementation, but it's not too late. It's not too late. That is why I'm telling you we are still pushing so that if you are able to have an engagement with government, the solutions that we have proffered, we think government will have to consider it. If government doesn't consider it, then we wouldn't have any alternative than to pass on whatever cost that we will incur to the consumers. So for now, that is what is going to happen, because it is natural that for every cost that any businessman will incur, definitely it will be passed on to the consumer.
Newly sworn-in chairman of the Abose Okai Spare Parts Dealers, Henry Ochri Jr., assured members of working in the best interest of the whole association.
On each and every one of you to support me in the transformation of Abose Okai Spare Parts. I hereby assure you that whenever and wherever I'm called, I'll deliver. Whether TV or radio, I will speak in the interest of the entire Abose Okai Spare Parts Association.
Top on the agenda for the newly elected executives will be the move to decongest the area to ease traffic flow.
Well, the Ghana Cocoa Board says it will intensify its fight against illegal mining on cocoa farms to avert a ban on Ghana's cocoa beans on the international market and also boost production. The pledge comes after Cocoa Board and some farmers in the Kede municipality dragged a mining firm, AC Zone Unlimited, to the Asamankese Circuit Court for alleged destruction of their farms in a swarm in the eastern region. The following report has more.
Illegal mining has been a major challenge for the cocoa sector. In recent times, there have been attempts by Cocoa Board to halt the practice. Even though AC Zenon is reported to have a license to mine, Cocoa Board is, however, contesting the issue, maintaining that mining around cocoa farms are prohibited. Speaking to Joy Business after the case was adjourned to June 13, 2023, the head of Galamsey Secretariat at Cocoa Board, Professor Michael Kwartin, said the cocoa regulator will pursue the case to its logical conclusion.
Yeah, we are talking about 30 hectares of land that has been given to the company to mine. Out of this, about 70–80% is cocoa farm. And then they just started, but they've destroyed about 4.5 acres of cocoa. So for now, that is what we have now. But the intent is to stop them for further destruction, because per Cocoa Board and our discussion with Mineral Commission, they don't give concession to miners where there are cocoa farms. So we are surprised we are seeing this, and we've received a lot of petitions from various regions with the same issue. So Cocoa Board, in fact, that is the more reason why we set up this secretariat to handle some of this, because it is becoming unbearable for the industry. If you don't take care, it's going to affect our production and even the quality of our cocoa. So we've put in place measures, not today, for future, and to ensure that this menace is eradicated or minimized.
On his part, the secretary of the Asuom Adansi Cocoa Cooperative, Maxwell Owusu, appealed to the Minerals Commission to undertake proper examination to avert the situation of granted mining prospective permits near cocoa farms.
This is the map. I'm holding the map. The concession area. It covers over 600 acres or hectares of cocoa farms that are going to be mowed down for their cocoa listing. We're saying, Cocoa Board, please, we like our cocoa. We know the land belongs to us. What's under the soil too? We'll be the people to sell it out. We don't want to sell it out. Maintain our cocoa. So you come in and make sure that this concession is not given to these people to come and do what they are going to do. Till today I speak to you, it's been wet and wet and wet and wet, and funny promises here and there. We'll come, we'll do this, we'll do that, and nothing is happening. And so the people are on site as I speak to you now, preparing their machines and everything. 2 days ago, we had a report that EPA had posted something on Daily Graphic, about environmental impact assessment. We as stakeholders are supposed to have a copy, so that if we have issues with it, we can, alert the appropriate authorities. We've tried to get that paper. We have not been able to get it. As I speak to you today, everything is being done on our blind side. And we keep on reporting. We've gone to Minerals Commission to serve them a letter, petition too as well. They've not responded up to today. These people claim that they have a license. However, the license is dated after we submitted our case to court. So I don't understand the logic of it. I know how to drive a car. So I hit down a boy on the road. I don't have a license. While the case is in court, I get a license. I'm saying, based on the license I now have, must I forget the case? Is that what they're saying we should do? You committed a crime. You didn't have a license to do what you did. You've done it. Let's deal with that. They don't want to deal with that. And now it's been threats here and there. And our leaders in Asuom, the chief and all that, these things have been compromised.
The case was adjourned to 13th June 2023 due to ill health of the lawyer of the farmer.
We do some more stories now, and Ecobank Ghana has reiterated its continuous support to stakeholders in the maritime space by providing solutions to their financial needs. The bank says it will ensure facilitation of payment, safekeeping of money, and provide financial support with investments made in technology and other means. Managing Director of Ecobank Ghana, who doubles as Regional Executive Director for Anglophone West Africa, Daniel Saki, says was speaking at the maiden edition of Ecobank Shipping Forum at Tema. Our correspondent Kwame Yanka has more in the following report.
The current economic challenges and other hurdles in the maritime space are breaking the backs of some players. Ecobank Ghana sees the need to continue offering financial solutions to ease the burden of these stakeholders in maritime. At the maiden edition of Ecobank Shipping Forum at Tema, the bank, through Smart Finance Solutions, is providing quick access to capital and access finance solutions. These seek to address liquidity gap, improve turnaround time for cargo handling, among other benefits. Regional Head, Cash Management and Client Access for Ecobank Ghana and Anglophone West Africa, Sandra Asedu Ansa says, Ecobank's Omni Plus, Omni Lite, online, mobile app and mobile wallet solutions facilitate transactions for all users.
The Ecobank One-Stop Shop solution is our unparalleled banking solution that has been designed for the players within the maritime sector, leveraging on our robust technology and strategic network of 64 branches pan-Ghana. In terms of the advantage, it has multiple advantages that we offer. One, we are looking at improving the turnaround time when it comes to making these cargo-related payments. We're also looking at reducing the associated costs that comes with making these payments. Obviously, if we save on time, we are able to save on demurrages. We're also looking at facilitating the ease of doing business at our ports in Ghana and also supporting the various actors, i.e. the shipping lines, the cargo port handling terminals, as well as the government collection agencies.
Acting Head, Corporate and Investment Banking, Ecobank Ghana, Johnson Oware, assures the bank will continue to play a pivotal role in the maritime space.
So for Ecobank, we have been very dominant in the maritime sector because we've invested in infrastructure, in the IT systems, we've invested in our people. And indeed, we have set up dedicated desk. So we have a team of resource dedicated to facilitate business in the maritime sector. And it is important that we let the people in the ecosystem of the maritime sector get to know that this is a committed organization to the sector, over 2 decades of commitment to the sector. This time we are taking it to the next level of providing the required financing, the required cash management, and payment instruments that will ensure that the industry will continue to thrive in spite of the challenges that we face currently.
Meanwhile, Head of SME, Commercial Banking at Ecobank Ghana, Kingsley Adofo, explains solutions to address liquidity gap in the maritime space.
So specific to working capital, we're able to support them bridge that liquidity gap between the payments they receive from their importers and also their payments they have to make to the statutory authorities. On asset finance as well, we're able to provide them with financing to equip them in terms of transport, in terms of various equipments that they need to use to deliver on their service promise to their customers. But beyond that as well, we've put in place what we call the rapid collection solution to ensure that they're able to pay efficiently and effectively, and within that space, tailor-made our financing to that to ensure that as they pay, they are able to record their activity in terms of their turnovers, and based on those turnovers, we get a good credit history on them and to provide them with the needed financing to support their business.
Ecobank says it has put in place measures to support all players in the maritime industry to make the African Continental Free Trade beneficial to businesses with its single market trade hub.
Now, one major challenge faced by women in the West district of the Upper West region who are into the picking and processing of shea nut is their inability to cut the shea nut gathered to their homes. As a result of that, some of the nuts gathered are left and allowed to rot. All will, however, be a thing of the past as 3 non-governmental organizations based in the region with support from Global Share Alliance and MasterCard Foundation have donated 12 tricycle motor kings to 4 women cooperatives to aid in their work. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from WA.
The survival of many, especially women in the northern Gulf of the country, largely hinge on the cultivation of shea nut. It serves as a form of livelihood for these underprivileged and deprived women living in these outlandish areas. The shea tree grows in the wild, and as a result, women who are in the shea nut business often have difficulty cutting them to their homes in order to prepare and add value to them for sale at the various markets. These rural poor women goes into the hinterlands, comb every shade tree around and pick their nuts for processing at home. Most of these women are able to gather these nuts in large quantities but have a challenge of bringing them home. They have no means of carting them home. As a result, sea of the nuts gathered are left and allowed to rot. However, all will not be a thing of the past. 3 non-governmental organizations in the Upper West region working in the West district, namely Center for Optimal Rural Development, called Sumbawera Foundation, and Forest and Savannah Development Association, with funding from Global Share Alliance and MasterCard Foundation, have come to the aid of the women. They have donated to the women, who are grouped in 4 cooperatives, 12 tricycle motorcanes to aid in their work. Each of the cooperatives were handed 2 tricycle motorcanes. James Santere Kafarete is the program's coordinator of CORD. His outfit had 8 of the 12 tricycles donated, making them the largest beneficiary.
Sometimes some will go and gather the nut more than 2-5 bags. But how they will get them to the house is a problem. So Global Share Alliance, seeing what we are doing in our communities, they supported us to give this motor tricycle to the women to be able to get more nuts, so that through these nuts they become people in future. So what CORD is doing with the support of Global Share Alliance with MasterCard Foundation, they are supporting us with funds to give training to women about businesses where they trade nut as a business. They will also give them how do they prepare quality shea nut for the buyers to come in and buy. And then we also train them on leadership, how they were able to govern themselves so that they can benefit the sweat that they are suffering, meanwhile others are enjoying the sweat that they are suffering.
Coordinator for Sumbawera Foundation, Tyler Lukman, stated that the intervention by Global Share Alliance and MasterCard Foundation will surely be a game changer in the lives of the women.
And they have taken through the process of financial development, marketing strategy, digital marketing, and best practices in share processing, where a warehouse will be secured for the share to be gathered and packaged well, and market link will be established, and devices have been provided, smartphone, motorcane, and other logistics for them to be able to engage in the share collection process. We have further even provided health and safety training and provided them with gloves and then walleting proof. The project do not want to see any factor as an excuse why women would not be able to be healthy, live happy, and work in terms of advancing their economic security. So for me, I see the project as a multi-package initiative that creates opportunities for women economic activity to thrive on. For me, this project is a game changer.
One of the beneficiaries of the project shares her excitement on the donation.
Before, we know the women used to go to faraway places to collect the shea nuts and carry them with their bases very big, and then their neck and then the head will be paining. But now that this motorcane have come, the collecting of the shea nuts is going to be easy. They will carry them from faraway places and bring them home and process them well.
Equally excited is the Assembly member for Go electoral area and former presiding member of the West District Assembly, Adams Osman.
They have used resources. If you actually do estimation of this motorcare that they have been giving them, it will cost not less than 170,000, and they are giving them 2 motorcanes to empower them economically. And I have nothing to say than giving thanks to Ghana and its partners for bringing this joy into me especially and the women in West District.
Reporting for J News, Rafik Salam.
On that note, we end Prime Business with me, Beverly Broohm. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Thank you so much.